Hello, I'm Melanie, I'm a cellist and I also play the piano. I teach and perform, and for the last several years I've been composing as well. So in this video I'm going to talk about the cello and basically introduce it. So the cello is a member of the string instrument family and it's the second largest instrument within that family. So you've got the violin, the viola, the cello, and then the double bass, which is the biggest instrument in that family. The history of the cello dates back to the early 16th century, and until the late 17th century, the cello was an ensemble instrument. So it basically played lots of bass lines within ensembles. So back then it wasn't a solo instrument. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the cello underwent some modifications, like the violin did, and this resulted in the cello becoming a much more powerful sounding instrument, because by this time many composers were writing works for solo cello. So the cello has gone from basically an ensemble instrument to a star solo instrument. The earliest known works written for the solo cello were written by the Italian composer Gabrielli, and these works were published in roughly 1675. So those are the earliest known works for the solo cello, and those are earlier than the cello suites by J.S. Bach. So as you can see, the cello has 4 strings. The top string is the A string. The next string down is the D string. The next one, these are getting thicker as I go along because they're going lower in pitch. So this one is the G string. And last but definitely not least, the C string. Most of the time we play the cello with a bow, but there are other times where we pluck the string. It depends on the piece that you're playing, really, and what you have to do within that piece. So I'll just give you a little demonstration. Here's an example of playing some individual notes with the bow. We can also play 2 notes at once on the cello. So here are a few examples. We can also play chords on the cello. So a chord on 3 strings, and here's a chord on 4 strings, so I'm involving the bottom string, the C string. 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 The C string So I can play the bottom two strings together, or I can play the bottom two strings individually. So we can play the chords in a slightly different way. Something else that you can do on the cello is play natural harmonics. So my students call these magic notes, which I understand because they really do sound magical. They're quite breathy in sound, and they remind me actually of a flute, the sound that a flute makes. And to play the natural harmonics, you don't actually press the string down to the fingerboard, you just have to touch the string in particular places where there is a natural harmonic. So I'll play you a few examples. These are quite high, so some of them they're up there in the violin register. So I'll start off on the bottom two strings. Middle two strings. And now I'll go to the top two strings. This next harmonic is really high, so it's higher than this one. So there are natural harmonics all over the cello, so I can use the D string as an example. So I'll just play up the D string, A string, so there are harmonics, natural harmonics, where you just touch the string, actually all over the cello. So I'll now just demonstrate some plucking of individual notes, because we can pluck with the bow in our hand or without the bow in our hand. We can pluck with the thumb, with the index finger or the middle finger, whatever's comfortable for the player. So if I now pluck the string a little bit further down towards the bridge, this is the bridge here, I get a more direct kind of sound when I pluck the strings. That's because the string here is a little bit tighter compared with here and here, So if I pluck the string further up, it sounds a bit more plummy, more round, a little bit more mellow. So here's an example of plucking two notes at once. When it comes to plucking chords, most of the time we use the thumb and we go this way, so towards my left. If I want to sound a 3-note chord or a 4-note chord with pretty much all of the notes heard at once, we tend to use the middle finger and we go this way. So I'll give you an example. That's how you play 3 or 4 notes at once, plucking. So the note range on the cello is pretty amazing, in my opinion. Many people regard the cello as being the closest to the human voice, so a bass singer can get down to that bottom C, and a soprano can reach the notes that we would play high down the A string. So from a personal perspective, for me, the cello has brought a lot of joy to my life, a lot of fun. It's been a lot of hard work, but I really love this instrument. And if you really love the instrument that you're playing, I would say that that's half the battle. It's also brought a lot of humour to my life because, as well as playing solo, I've played in orchestras, I've done a lot of chamber music, so string quartets, piano trios and so on. And it is really fun playing in small ensembles with other musicians for me personally. We get the work done, but we also enjoy ourselves and have fun and laugh a lot. So when I'm playing my cello, and even when I'm travelling with my cello, I do actually feel as though I have a really good friend with me. It's just how it feels for me. And overall, learning and understanding of the musical language, studying the cello, studying the piano, music theory, music history, it's all been very therapeutic for me, as well as enjoyable, hard work. It's a very therapeutic thing to do, learning a musical instrument. Okay, so I've reached the end of my video introducing the cello. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.